Dan just killed this buck right here. Really nice 8-point. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to gut the deer. Now, this is an educational video. There will be blood, there will be knives, there will be cutting into it, but we're going to go ahead and get started showing you guys how to field dress a deer. By the way, field dress and gut, same thing. All right, so first thing we want to do is pretty much flip him over. This is a very bloody deer, so we're going to get bloody. That's how it's going to be. So the way I like to do it is I like to try to get them on their back the best I can. So I'm going to go ahead and straighten out his neck a little bit. I'll even go ahead and put his antlers on the ground. And then I'm going to use my body to turn his body over the way I want it. So I'll get this leg, and I'll go ahead and flip him over so that I can actually put my legs right in here and at least kind of hold him where I want him to be. Now, the next step, once you get them on their back, you're going to pull out a good sharp knife. I'm using the KG pocket knife. And you can use some with gut hooks on them. That works good too, but I don't really need them the way we're going to do it. Now, here's the main idea of actually gutting a deer. We want to get the guts and the lungs and stuff out of the body because that's what's going to ruin the fastest since it's very warm. It's also going to open up the body from the inside out, letting air get in there, and it's going to cool everything down. If not, if you try to carry it around like this, he's going to get bloated, and the meat's going to go bad faster. So it's good to, whenever you can, go ahead and gut it. So when you got its belly, you're going to be pushing around, and eventually you're going to feel its sternum. So you can push around. This is soft, this is hard. So that right there is where his chest is. I'm going to start about right here. And I'm basically going to make a slit straight down here so that I can get in there and get stuff out. I'm going to pinch the skin, lift up, and then I'm going to do it with the blade pointing up. So I'm going to poke in barely any because my goal is just and only to slit the skin. If you go in like this, you can poke the guts. If you cut it like this with your blade down, you can also slice through the guts. And then that's not what you're going to want. It's going to stink real bad. You just want to go just under the skin. And you can see that cut right there went just under the skin, but not through anything else. I'm going to run that cut all the way down. And the way I do that is to just turn my knife like this with the blade still up, and I can actually put it under there and run it straight down, kind of lifting up as I go. Now I'll get this open. So you don't want to do that. I just poked its guts. It does stink, but sometimes you got to deal with it. That's why it pays to go slower. But we're not in big trouble. We're just in a little bit of trouble. Let me show you what I did, and you'll see. Yeah, I did it. So on the deer's stomach, you're going to have the skin, then you're going to have a few other small layers, and that's actually to get into the guts. So you go through the skin, a little bit of fat, and then through another layer of meat, which we're going to do in a second, but then I got a little too fast, a little too pointed down. I went through both layers. I went through the skin, through the meat, and I actually went through the third layer, which is just straight up his stomach. That's why you don't want to go too fast. You don't want to point your knife down. You don't want to cut down because you end up hitting that. It's always a lot nicer if you don't cut that, but we did. It's not the end of the world. It's going to stink. We'll be okay. If you want to, you can get the tripod.
Yeah, because I feel like I could be one.
Dan is attempting to be the cameraman, but he keeps taking a step back, so we're going to move him over to a tripod. But yeah, pretty much you want to start right up here where the sternum is, and then we're going to slowly go down. Once you get to these, you're just going to go around them. Just pick a side, go around them. And then we'll end the cut right about here. And this is the way that we do it whenever we're about to take it to a processor in like 20 minutes. So, and I mean, once you get it like this, you can actually come in there and stick your fingers there. That way you can actually pull up away from the guts. That helps too. That's one thing I did not do. But you don't want to stick in with your knife like this like I did, because that's how I messed up. And if you need to, if you have somebody to hold these legs, you can actually turn around. That way you end up going at it like this. So I'm going to go ahead and go around this other side real quick. And if you need to, hey, go skin first, then come back through with the guts. That's fine too. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this out of the way to get it out of the way. Some states you may need this attached. We don't, so we're not. From here, you can see we got the basic cut. I mean, it comes all the way down to here. You can cut it a little bit. You don't want to go too far in there. It just gets the meat dirty if you're taking it soon. If you're going to end up quartering it anyways, you can go ahead and cut in there. But I basically made a big old slit. Depending on what you're planning on doing with the deer, you can cut straight up there with a saw or something. It makes it easier to get in there with. But if you're planning on caping the deer, you pretty much want to stop right there at the chest. Caping it means getting it mounted. All right, and so from here, you pretty much go in, and your job's pretty simple. It's just to get all of that out of there. Dan is evading right now. So just reach in there and grab it, like I mentioned earlier. Just like that. Pulling it out. And it makes it a lot harder when you poke it. So, but it don't matter how pretty it is. As long as you go in there and you get it out of there, that's what matters. So it ain't got to be beautiful. Okay. There's going to be two sections. You're going to have the guts, which is what I just got out. That's the guts, the intestines, the liver, all that good stuff. And then once you get that out, I'll show you what it looks like and we'll go from there.
What we doing with all that stuff?
We're going to leave it right here and let the coyotes eat it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, nothing crazy. So, now the guts are out. You can see it's empty in here, but not quite yet. You'll see there's this little flappy part in here. That's whatever separates its lungs and stuff from its guts. We're going to cut around it, and then we're going to reach in there, grab all the stuff, grab its windpipe, cut its windpipe, and then that's all going to pull out. That's usually going to be really bloody if you hit it in the lungs or heart, so I don't know, get ready for it. Some people use gloves. I don't have any cuts, so I guess I'm all right. You got to be very careful too, because whenever you're sticking your hands in there with a knife, it's easy to cut yourself, and when you pull it out, everything's bloody so you don't even know. So be careful, I guess. But good thing, we're halfway done. Ain't it right, Dan? He's watching from a distance.
Yeah, slowly getting further and further away.
That's okay. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a camera that I can stick inside the deer, so this is the best filming we can do right now. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting around that outer side with a good sharp knife that cuts real easy. As long as you made a decent shot, it should be clean. If you didn't make a shot, it's not going to be as clean, but it's clean enough. There's nothing too not clean to clean a deer. So, go ahead and cut around that wall. And it's time to go back in. Once we go in, you can, now that we went inside, you can see we cut this layer, this little flapper here that went all the way around. Now you can look in there, you can actually see all the good stuff. Right in there's the heart. Let's see, that's the lungs. So we're basically going all the way in. We're going all the way in here. We're going all the way in. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a windpipe up there. If you cut the windpipe, you can grab it and rip everything out. So let's do it. And so sometimes this means that you have to stick your knife and your hands where you can't see. With that, I like to say, put your knife like this, maybe even like this with your fingers, so that, well, wherever your fingers are, you can even do a little bit with your eyes closed. If you know where your fingers are, you can make sure they don't touch. So that's how I keep up with the blade. You gotta be so careful though. It's really easy to cut yourself. Okay, so I'm going in there completely blind, cutting the windpipe, making sure my hand is not in the wood. And there we go. Once I got the windpipe, I'm pulling. And that is what we shot. Now you have your heart if you want it. You've got your lungs if you want them. And this is a good spot to take a look and see what you actually hit. So, looking around, I'm not quite sure what we hit. But the deer died, so we will take it. Yeah, pretty interesting. I don't know what to hit, but it died. So, all right. And there we go. The deer is literally field dressed now. If you look inside, there's nothing here at all. This is a good time if you're waiting until tomorrow or it's really hot. Take some bags of ice, throw it up in there. It'll help cool down the deer. The main thing with the meat, since it's a living, warm-blooded animal, if you want to keep the meat good, either get it processed soon, which means take it home, cut it up yourself, take it to a processor, or if you need to wait a little bit, go ahead and throw some bags of ice in here. And that should, depending on the temperature, last you till tomorrow. Or if it's like 30 degrees, you can just hang it up just like this and you don't really need ice. So this skinning segment is brought to you by the KG Pogganoff at KendallGrayOutdoors.com or first link in the description if you want one. I've skinned a lot of animals with these. I can't complain. I also know the guy that makes them, so that's good. And boom, just like that. Hope you guys learned how to field dress a deer. It's not that bad, but you are gonna get a little bloody. If you wanna learn more about deer hunting, click right over here. Or if you wanna watch the video where we killed this deer, click right over here.